All right, so let's get started. What do we do here?
How do you start off a fat podcast?
Yeah, exactly. All right. So,
How do you start off a fat life?
well,
We have to give birth to the podcast.
there's a thing called baby fat, which has been my excuse for the last 38 years.
Yeah. How long do we get? What's the statute of limitations on claiming baby fat?
Yeah, I don't know.
Till you die.
I guess so. All right, so we're already into it, but this is the very first episode of the Brothers Fat.
You say fat like someone from Michigan.
What, fat?
Fat.
Fat. So this is me and my two other brothers, and we're doing a podcast because it just so happens that I had this idea like a couple days ago, and New Year's Eve was coming around, and I was like, hey, why don't we do a podcast called The Brothers Fat? Came up with the name right out of there. I know I'm a genius. You guys can thank me later. But I was like, let's do that, and let's spend a whole year trying not to be so fat. And they agreed. So we're going to see if everybody in here can keep their end of the bargain, do this podcast each week, and then emerge of this less fat. Hopefully a lot less fat than we came into it.
Okay, so if I want to gauge how fat I am right now, I'm pretty sure I'm heavy breathing into the microphone. And I
I was going to bring that up too, that the listener will probably hear about three people breathing into microphones.
Mom doesn't
like
care.
They just ran up a flight of stairs, even though they were sitting down.
Hey, I did just run down a flight of stairs. It was 10 minutes ago.
So this is the Brothers Fat. I'm Shane.
And I am the youngest brother, Mark.
And I am the also youngest brother, Mike, who is Mark's twin brother.
Wait, I forgot. Who's the youngest one again?
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
I'm 3 minutes older than him.
So next time we need to do this in age order. You're 3 minutes older?
Yeah.
If I said 3 months, that'd be weird.
That's ages.
3 months of twins, so
yeah.
Or mom.
So 3 minutes. So would she be in labor for 3 months and like one happened first,
and then 3 months later, second one.
Let's go back to the 3 minutes. Do you give them life advice about what's going to happen 3 minutes from now, or?
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I actually have a Facebook post that I kept commenting on, telling Mark what's happening 3 minutes from now. And I also said, when I was your age, I was drinking a can of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, he'll often give me advice.
Which is why you're fat.
Yeah, he'll often give me advice on, like, hey, just so you know, if you eat one of those pieces of pizza in a few minutes, you're going to get some wicked heartburn.
Yeah, Prilosec. Speaking of Prilosec, so
we're not sponsored.
No, we're not yet. We will be. Hopefully we won't be. Hopefully we won't need it anymore.
You know, with the amount of money that I'm sure we're all dropping on PPIs and antacids, we should actually be getting a piece back.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, getting a piece of the pie for sure. So I'll go steal somebody's joke, but it was Larry the Cable Guy. He said, I'm the only person who did a Weight Watch, or no, what was it? It was Jenny Craig or something. What commercial did he do?
He did Jenny Craig didn't he do Hydroxycut?
Not Hydroxycut.
No, he did Prilosec OTC.
Well, but he did one of the food delivery things too.
Oh.
It wasn't Jenny Craig. Let's see.
All right, whose kid is that?
Muting.
Whose kid is that?
Yes, I forgot what the food thing was. Anyways, it's one of those food delivery weight loss things, and he's like, I'm the only person to do that and a Prilosec commercial right after.
That was my child, and I don't know how I'm going to keep him out of this room.
Nutrisystem. That's what it was. Larry the Cable Guy did Nutrisystem and Prilosec. So apparently the Nutrisystem didn't work for him. But that was a hilarious joke when I heard that. So yeah, so let's go on. So we introduced ourselves. We have all these show notes here, which Mark lovingly wrote up, and I lovingly said, let's not do this.
They threw it in the trash.
Apparently only one of us is committed to excellence here, okay?
Yeah. Well, if we want a scripted NPR-like podcast, yeah, but this is not. This is just, we're going to let it happen, man.
You know what else NPR does? They make lots of money.
Well, we're not going to make any money.
No.
We're going to be lucky to lose weight. Let alone get some money out of this thing.
But at least Mom can keep up with us, right?
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Let's do the weigh-ins right now.
Oh,
I think
No.
each episode, the weigh-ins will come in probably a little bit later. But maybe we should start. I don't know. We'll try this out in the next episode. If anybody listens, for Pete's sake, we'll keep trying different things until it works.
I guarantee that we will have at least 12 podcast crossover listeners. Guaranteed.
Is that the whole listenership of podcast?
Yeah, there's 14.
14.
There's 12 of them.
Let me tell you something about the podcast. I could be the most interesting person you know. You never had me on the podcast, and I'm assuming that's because you didn't want to make the other people feel bad. But
no, I never had you on the podcast because I was afraid that you were not going to buy a professional microphone to stream in with. So
yeah, well, when you got good content, the microphone doesn't matter.
That's like saying if you got good gas, the car doesn't matter.
Well, that's kind of true.
That's true, though, isn't it?
What?
That's not. It's not really the same thing. It's,
yeah, it's premium, dude.
Yeah, I mean, content is king. And you, unfortunately, your listeners don't get to hear my story. My listeners.
Is that you?
My awesome story.
Is that you, preemptively now decreeing that you will not be a guest on the podcast?
Not only will I not be a guest, I was actually going to start my own podcast called the Not Podcast and never have you on it.
It's a shame. Or a Shane, rather.
Yeah. But anyways, that's what I went through. The listeners. I mean, the listeners. You gotta understand this. I've had an interesting life, and instead, we're talking to people. I won't say because I don't want to make fun of anybody, but let's just say not as cool nor as interesting as I.
Yeah, radiologists suck.
Okay, I can't go any further. I don't want to hurt
It's funny that I said that because Daryl is definitely going to be one of the guys who listens to this. And Daryl's the king. Daryl, you're the king, man. I hope you're getting your Lego Star Wars ship built.
Okay, so he builds Star Wars ships, okay. Has he ever been involved in a wrestling match?
Oh, sure he has. We'll have to ask him.
With Hard Time Gene Austin?
Yeah.
That's true. He hasn't. Well, I can't say for sure. I don't know Daryl's life, but
Yeah.
if I was to guess based off of what I do know,
Hard Time Gene Austin.
Yeah, he might be. That Hard Time Gene Austin, everybody knows who he is, and everybody's friends with him.
Everybody's friends with him.
Wait,
I'm kidding, Daryl.
I have an idea for a podcast, by the way.
What?
See what you
the
guys
one we're
think.
doing right now?
No. Something much better. Much better.
Okay. This one's over then. We're going to start something
This is
new.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But ready for this one?
Thanks for listening, everybody.
This one's
Yeah,
gonna be great.
it's been fun.
This one's going to be called English Mark. And the whole thing is just if I were an English dude, what the podcast would be like.
If I had the went sound, like the bad joke sound, the sad horn sound, I'd play that right now.
That's what you would think, sir. But you don't listen to the English Mark podcast.
That was the worst thing I ever heard in my life.
Really?
And I've heard some pretty bad things.
That's crazy because I once heard that you went to a poetry reading by Chad Kroger. You would say that was better?
You know what? So speaking of Chad Kroger, we're gonna get into the fatness in a second, people. But
We're talking about Chad Kroger right now.
Chad Kroger, a Nickelback, could be like tied for second as far as the band I've seen the most.
Wait, who are they tied with?
Probably Shinedown.
I don't put them in the same playing field. Although I will say this: if Nickelback was really as bad as everyone says they are, how on earth would they have like 3 platinum albums?
They're not. I mean, it's just fun to crap on them, just like it's fun for people. I don't know if you watch WWE, but people crap on like John Cena, for instance. It's just fun to do it. And
guys, check your links. I found an Angel Fire website for Hard Time Gene Austin. And
oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right, we'll post that in the show notes. By the way, that's him, all right. One day we'll talk about the story about how I got hit with the kendo stick in my high school. It was the greatest thing of all time. But
well, look at Hard Time Gene Austin.
Yeah. So we'll post. You can follow along anything we post that we're talking about. We're going to put on thebrothersfat.com. You can go there and you'll get show notes there, and we'll put links to things and whatnot, the things that you're supposed to do with the podcast, and other things. We'll be posting in between podcasts as well, so you keep up with our fatness between the podcasts. Also, I'm going to build, I don't know if you guys know this or not. I'm a software engineer. That's what I do.
What?
So I'm going to build an application that's going to track our fatness and show who's winning. If there is a thing like winning, we're going to build something like that and put that on the website as well. So yeah, Nickelback was cool.
So
I can't say I care. I don't care for their songs now, but younger kids do, and
Can we monitor like how fast my couch is breaking down as I sit on it every day?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, you guys. Did you know that there are I want to call them silent partners in your life that could indicate whether or not you're on the fast track to the fat track rather. And one of them is if you're ever surprised by like how nicely a size up fits. I don't know why that's taken me by such surprise sometimes. I'm like, yeah, 2X. One dude actually told me at work, I was out doing a show out in Freeborn County Fair. We were doing a Ted Nugent show, and it was freezing cold outside.
Oh, Ted Nugent, name dropper here.
Yep.
Yeah,
TN, old Uncle Teddy.
I walk in with Gene Austin, and all you can come with is Ted Nugent.
Charlie Daniels.
Okay.
Charlie Daniels
I'm
laughed
Hard
at me.
Time Gene Austin. You're dropping Ted Nugent.
And Charlie Daniels.
That shows you who's the coolest person in the room. Okay, anyways.
Go on.
Yeah, because everyone knows who Hard Time Gene Austin is. I don't know why I even brought Ted Nugent in there. He's old news. But so anyway, me and the guys I was working with, we were doing the video crew that night. And so we're outside and it's freezing cold, and you've got to hold the camera and sit still and not shake for 2-3 hours. So I ended up driving to try and buy a freaking hoodie from the nearest mall. The only store they had, the biggest size they had was 2X, which was my size, and
which was your size. Hence, is that the key word? Was your size?
Well, here's the thing. So that's where this story gets interesting. I go inside and I pick up the largest hoodie in there, which is a 2X. It's the only hoodie left in the place that's not a large or smaller. So I'm going to the dressing room to put it on. And one of the other guys that I work with, who's like 7 years older than me, he's a really small guy. He's like, I want to say he's like 5'4", 5'5". And he's hilarious, but he's a very ruthless human being when it comes to making fun of you. I was walking back with the 2X, and he was like, "Hey, buddy, they only had the 2X back there." He was like, "Did you find a 3X?" And I was like, "No, I wear 2X." And then he looked at me and goes, "No, you don't." And
was he right?
Like, oh, he was right, because I didn't realize it, but all my shirts were tight.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had all the shirts I wear every day. Well, it's a combination of I wear the same shirt, like a couple shirts all the time, and you wash them a lot, and they shrink doing that. So that's part of it.
Right, they shrink.
Yeah, well, they do when you wash them a lot.
Right.
This is a true story. So I had these George shirts from good old Walmart. These George black, what are they called? Polos.
Yeah, I'm a big procurer of the. I'm a collector of the George as well, I should say.
Now is that George Foreman? What does the George stand for? I don't know.
I think it's.
I assumed it was George Foreman.
I think it's Georgia. I think it's a real actual fancy Italian. It's great.
Well, so those are 2X. I'm a 2X myself. I don't want to brag, but I am a 2X. And yeah, they seem to get shorter and shorter. So I found a little cheat, so you don't have to go to the 3X. You get the 2XLT, right?
Where do you find that?
Well, they're just somewhere. They're around places. So I happen to be in Kohl's. And by the way, I totally have a Homer Simpson closet where if I find a shirt that fits, now this is the fat man's thing. You find a shirt that fits, you buy all of them on the rack.
That's right.
Because God knows, or you don't know when the next shirt's going to fit. So you got to buy the one that fits.
Yeah, you got to go with what you know. Seize the opportunity. Carpe diem, man.
So I bought like two. I have a total of 6 of those shirts now. 4 are black, and I have 2 that are different colors for special occasions. But yeah, that's what I wear. That's my uniform every day. I wear that one of those shirts, 2XLT, and they fit well.
Is that another fat indicator when you notice that most of your shirts are black?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't like because I stick out like a sore thumb being a bright pink. Bright pink fat dude walking around.
Yeah, exactly. There's some people that do it. Yeah. How about the fat people that like wear the shirt that say Big Dog on them? And that might be more of an early 2000s thing. But you remember those? They would like wear a shirt that say Big Dog or Big something on it. It's like, yeah, we know you're fat. You don't have to put on your shirt.
Yeah, don't point it out.
Yeah, and I hope I don't offend any listeners who have such a shirt. I mean, I get it. Sometimes you want to own your fatness, but
I don't know.
I would never do
this weird culture of fat acceptance blows my mind. It's like, what's next? Like cocaine acceptance?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's gonna be legalized. No, my biggest problem.
Maybe that's how we lose the weight. Get some cocaine.
You're right. Yeah, those are like natural enemies.
Yeah.
You get a couple of cocaine, and then you get yourself all skinny. My biggest problem I've always had was literally the midsection of every shirt just kind of forms and gets tight.
Yeah,
there. Every other part of the shirt's fine, but when I raise my arms up, the whole shirt goes up with it. You know?
I know that's the problem too. Some people don't know. Like, we got to wear 2 shirts. I don't know if you guys wear 2. I always wear 2 shirts.
Secrets.
Yeah, don't tell them secrets.
We got to wear 2 shirts so your belly doesn't pop up when you raise your arm for something. When you raise your
butt crack doesn't show when you
walk. Exactly.
It doesn't matter what I do. My BC is always hanging out. I'm pretty sure I was at what is it? IKEA in Chicago, and I'm guaranteed my butt crack ended up on somebody's Twitter feed.
I heard about that.
I can't find it.
Yep.
I typed in hashtag butt crack IKEA.
Actually, I think your butt crack has its own Twitter, if I remember correctly.
You guys,
it's back there tweeting. You know.
Have you guys ever noticed, like, so for me, it's like I've always known that, but see, I was always the fat one. You guys weren't ever the fat one. I was always 100% the fat one.
Correction. Well, actually, I always feel bad because I did always feel overweight, even though, and now I wish I like would pray to be that weight again. Like I would love to be that weight.
You wasted all your skinny days thinking you were fat.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, aside from that, Michael might have won the crown when you guys were younger.
I guarantee I did.
Yeah, I look at pictures, and I don't remember this much. But when you look at pictures, you can see that Michael did get big one time. And there's this funny story that
not just one time.
Well, I don't. Yeah, we'll go through all of our fats. By the way, I'm on my I'm on my 3rd fat. So
all I can say is I think I'm the only one who. I should say I've had the longest. I've had the longest like reign as king in the realm of morbidly obese, like in a clinical perspective.
Yeah. Well, good for you. That's nice work.
Thanks, you guys.
Well,
I support you.
It wasn't easy.
Talking about Michael when he was a kid, there's a story that we always talk about here in my home. It's when Michael ate 12, count them 12 chili dogs in one day.
One
Do
sitting.
you remember this?
One sitting. One right after another. Just kept going.
And he wasn't trying to eat 12 chili dogs.
No.
No, just eating 12 chili dogs.
He was eating a chili dog, and he did it 12 times.
Yeah, that's so crazy. You're a kid, too. Like, I don't know how old you were. Probably 10 or something. I don't know. You were young.
And then I drank my dinner, so I had a cup of chili dogs, too, on the side.
Yeah. Some Coke. And we wonder how we got fat.
Yeah.
Speaking of how we got
It
fat.
wasn't us. We didn't get fat.
It was
It's
the
not our
food
fault.
industry.
Yeah, the food
The
industry.
food industry made me fat.
The
Thanks
food. Okay.
to Mel and us.
Yeah. Well, here's what the food industry didn't do. And I just thought about this the other day when I was thinking about, we were talking about why we got fat. When we lived in Woodhaven, Michigan. So, by the way, we should give you some background. We grew up around Detroit area in Michigan, and then my whole family left me, so I'm still here, and they're living out in Peoria, Illinois.
Peoria, Illinois.
Around Peoria and around Detroit, I should say. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but we're just around those areas, not right in them. And there was Hawaiian Island, which was this Chinese place.
Yeah, I was
Which
thinking
had the
about this
best
the other day.
Egg rolls in the world.
Best name for a Chinese restaurant, Hawaiian Island.
Yeah. So they had the best egg rolls in the world. And then right next to it was Termina's. There was this period of time where we would go on a Friday, and mom and dad would go get a pizza. They wouldn't want the pizza though; they'd want the Hawaiian Island. So I'd have them get me an egg roll, and I'd eat egg roll and pizza.
Boy, the juxtaposition of those flavors would be amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, both of them tasted good. I don't care about the just. I ate them separately. I ate the egg roll and then I ate some pizza. And there was a big, huge pizza that you couldn't get out the door. Remember?
Yeah,
you had to like turn it sideways.
Tormina's, right? It was like 24
Tormina's,
inch.
Yeah.
And it was a good time, right?
Yeah. I just remember that. Like, why is it? That's so bad. They should have smacked me right in the face and said, "Don't do that."
Well, I remember we have another brother, Todd, and I remember making fun of him for eating a full frozen pizza. Now I can go through like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sitting here eating and being depressed at myself. I'm like, wait,
Todd used to eat. I don't know if you guys remember this. Todd used to eat 1 gallon of cereal every morning.
Yeah. In a butter bowl.
And that's how I knew it was a gallon, because he filled the bowl.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time. And by the way,
my mom and dad, they're buying pallets of food, and we're just going through it like crazy.
Yeah.
12 chili dogs, a gallon of cereal. No wonder why we were poor.
Yeah.
I don't know why you ended that sentence with poor and not fat.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah, I just remember that. It was so funny. Like, he would eat all that. And the other funny thing was he was skinny all the way up until he got older. It caught up with him. But man, that was funny.
That's the downside of all your guys' experience, by the way, because I've been fat forever, it seems like. And it's like, I told Michael, you remember when I started working with you? Because like we spent some time apart where I didn't see you very much or anybody. And so I didn't know that you had gained weight, right? Like you did. And
A lot of it.
we were talking, like we were, first few weeks, I was like, don't say anything. This is the first time you're hanging out with Mike in a few years. Let's just work together. And then I was like, hey, Mike.
Why are you fat?
No, I was like, hey, my big thing was like, I've been in this game a long time and you don't know how dark it's going to get.
That's exactly how he said it too, by the way. He was you don't want to go down that road, Mike.
So, boy, let my back and my knees tell you a little story, bud. Champ.
How long ago was this?
This is like
this
2
year.
months ago.
This was in March of this year.
Oh yeah, the March this year, not 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. If it was Mark, well, Mark, that's still a long time ago, so he didn't heed his warning, I guess.
No, I didn't.
I didn't heed his warning either.
You're like, well, where's my Diet Coke? Or not Diet Coke, excuse me.
Where's my regular Coke?
Yeah, where's my Mountain Dew? That's what I meant to say.
My 2-liter.
Yeah.
You know what I miss? You know what I miss? Walking around with a 2-liter of Moon Mist.
Oh, yeah, Moon Mist. Oh, the was that a Michigan only thing, or was that?
They sell it in like 2 stores here.
Yeah,
oh, do they?
Casey's gas stations here sell Faygo sodas, but they do not sell Rock and Rye, which is the only reason Faygo exists.
Yeah, that's the best drink.
Yeah.
Well, we lost Mark.
Well,
what?
It's
okay. There you go. You said exist, but you cut out when you're saying exist.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to turn my gate off.
Yeah, turn your gate off.
Yeah.
Jeez. This is coming from the guy who runs his own podcast.
Yeah. From Mark Burgess Studios.
Well, I must not be running very much because I'm doing this I'm Still Fat podcast with you guys.
Yeah. So you brought up something, Michael, eating pizzas. I think that's a hallmark of being really fat is when you can eat a whole large pizza.
And still be hungry.
On more than one occasion.
Yeah, like one time is just, that's a feat. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fun.
Then you go down the road. And all of a sudden it's been like, you're doing one a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing. If
it
one
starts
day,
out as just one.
You're like, wow, can I do more?
Yeah.
If you ever surprise yourself with almost anything food related, I would almost guarantee that you should check your BMI.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that?
Oh, surprise yourself in how much you eat?
Yeah, like Mike, so Mike and the guys at work, I've been working with them for almost a year now, and I noticed like they'll get Little Caesars once every 2 weeks or so, sometimes once a week, but they'll get Little Caesars, and it's like a thing, it's like a tradition. It's how it's Little Caesars is how you bond. So we go to Little Caesars. Michael gets this $6 extra most bestest pizza, pretty large pizza with a bunch of stuff on it. And I got like a little lunch pizza that was still somehow 1,300
Mark
calories.
walks up, he's like, do you guys have salad?
I know. Joke asked them if they had salad, and they were like, sorry, we don't have it at this store. Like most other Little Caesars has it. And then so the next best thing from salad, you know what that is at this store? It's 12 chicken wings for $7.
Hey, if you're low carb, that's good.
Yeah, it's 700 calories or something like that, 600 calories.
Yeah.
But either way, I finish them, and I'm like, man, I want to eat more still. Anyway, so off of that track, I saw Mike. He didn't know he did this, but he ate the whole pizza.
Oh, no, I knew, and I felt terrible, but I did it anyway.
Well, like you said it later, like somebody who found out that their parents were cannibals. You said it with this like amount of like disgust and surprise, and you're like, oh God, I think I ate the whole pizza.
Oh my gosh.
You should have done that.
Why did you let me do that?
I eat because I'm sad, and I'm sad because I eat.
That's it.
It's a vicious cycle.
You guys want to know how I knew like 3 years ago three, maybe 2, I don't remember how long ago. Either way, you want to know how I knew that I'm like, oh, I crossed a line. Whatever it is, your brain, your body knows once you get to a certain weight, something clicks, and it's like it goes into fight or flight mode just from you being fat. And the reason I know that this happened to me was 1 week I was like, Becky, I need to go get life insurance. And I went and bought life insurance later that week. And I was trying to figure out why it was so important. And then I was like, oh man, my brain knew I was fat.
Did you get life insurance?
I did.
I applied for life insurance, and I was too fat to get life insurance.
No, are you kidding me?
This is a true story.
How?
The one I applied,
pre-existing condition, right?
yeah, the one I applied for said this is true. This is a true story. Sorry. Some number. So I don't know how many years ago this was. This was 4 or 5 years ago. And I was gonna write a blog post called "Too Fat for Insurance" for life insurance. and I was gonna lose weight because of it, but that never happened.
The post or the weight?
Both. So
here we are.
So I applied for life insurance, and I got denied because of my weight. And mind you, I was less than what I am now.
What I don't understand though is how I can be so much bigger than you, but still get life. I've gotten 2 life insurances.
Well, it was just the one I applied for. So, excuse me, it was through work, and so they probably just have stricter rules. But it was just funny. I was like, oh my gosh. Then I lost a lot of weight, and I can't get life insurance anymore because, as you guys know, and so life insurance is out of the question for me forever now. But I lost that weight, and then right after that,
you cut out. Why don't you have life insurance now?
Because I have cancer. I had cancer.
Huh?
Was this
I can't get life. I can't.
Was this from the egg roll and pizza combination?
Yeah,
no, it was because Shane used to chew on glue sticks.
Yeah, they caused my cancer.
Do you remember, Shane, while you had cancer and you made the joke about chewing glue sticks, you got yelled at about making fun of your own cancer?
I made a joke about chewing glue sticks?
Yeah, we were at some Christmas thing, and someone got a hot glue gun or something. It was at our Christmas thing where I think we traded gifts. Yeah, and then you were like, oh, I used to chew glue sticks. Come to think of it, that's probably what gave me this cancer.
Oh, yeah, I did used to chew glue sticks. This is a true story.
Yeah, and then
I totally forgot about that.
And then
probably because my chemo burned my brain.
It made Amber mad.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's funny.
In fact, me and Becky were the only 2 people who laughed.
For reference, Amber is our sister, and Becky is Mark's wife.
Yes.
I kind of liked the mystery being there.
All of a sudden, there's an Amber and a Becky in the store. We don't know what's going on.
And speaking of, just to go how fat I am, I gained weight while getting chemo. So I'm the only person in the history of the universe to ever gain weight while getting chemo.
Oh, no.
You know what, though? Yeah. There's no way that happens by accident. What were you eating?
I was eating everything.
That's great.
At first, it was like a get out of jail free card because I was losing weight first. I'm like, yes, so I'm eating like a madman. Part of it, too, is if you like the way you eat is kind of determines your survival. So how much protein you get and stuff like that. And I just made sure that even if I was sick, I just ate. But it all ended up in me gaining weight, which sucks. I was like, once I got diagnosed, I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I'm gonna lose some weight finally. And nope, that didn't happen.
No.
I'm gonna lose some weight finally. You know what though, Shane? You know what you can say now, Shane, that like nobody else can? Everyone pulls the baby weight thing, but you could be like, nah, I just got some cancer weight to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cancer weight.
And to go back to it, I'm cured, considered cured, so it's never gonna come back. So I'm good. So that's why we can joke about it.
Well, I didn't even know about that.
Congrats.
Wait, you joked about it when you still had it.
Yeah, when I had it, but it could still come back. Well, I mean, some people might be sensitive about it, and I get it. It's a sensitive topic, but I had it, so I get to joke about it. What were you saying, Michael?
I have a question for both of you. So I mean, I used to go to the gym all the time and run about 2 to 3 miles a day, and then one day at the gym, I just developed like extreme anxiety. Like I just had this attack. Felt like I was having a heart attack, and I left. And then I kept getting more and more anxiety attacks. And I'm like, is this due to me gaining weight that my body's like, oh, we're gonna freak out right now? I mean, did you guys develop anxiety?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I found out I've had an anxiety disorder apparently probably my whole life, but or a panic disorder. They're probably the same thing. I'm not sure. Yeah. She said panic disorder. Either way, me going to the gym, I would start breathing really hard. No joke, my heart would not beat. It would like skip at least a beat, sometimes 2 beats, and then it would beat. Like, right? It would beat really hard, which that's called an arrhythmia. But honestly, I just decided that it was worth dying in the gym, and so I kept going back. And
for like 3 minutes or what? Because you haven't been going back lately.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this was before Logan was born, or well, I guess it was right after Logan was born. But anyway, I think it had something to do with obviously the weight and the pain. It started with me after I broke my femur, and so maybe it had something to do with that too, because that hurt. But I don't know. It did happen to me, and I do get it sometimes now. But the only way to make it stop happening was to start sleeping really well and go regularly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sleeping well is important. I mean, that's
Yeah,
going to be important for all the weight loss in
yeah.
general.
Because I not only did I gain weight, but I developed sleep apnea because of my weight gain, and I wasn't sleeping good. I was working third shift for an entire year. Don't remember anything about it because I was so tired the whole time.
Yeah, that's probably a big cause of it too, the third shift thing. So speaking of, I was going to ask everybody what the fattest thing they did this week was,
Ooh.
and mine was getting a sleep study for sleep apnea last night.
Well, the cat's out of the bag now, huh?
Yeah.
How'd it go? How'd it go?
I don't know yet. So he's like, it looks like you have it. And I'm like, okay.
That's the new doctor thing. They're like, oh, everything looks good. Oh, you're gonna have to hook up to the CPAP machine though.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't want one of those things, but whatever.
You know what's funny about that is
More reason to lose weight.
I thought that I had apnea. I guess I could still have apnea because sometimes I'll just wake up like I've been in the war, and someone was saying it's probably PTSD from the car accident. I really don't buy that because I don't care about the car accident. But something I did note was that like I don't stop breathing because like I forget to breathe. It happens when I'm awake too. I was reading about it, and there's apparently a form of apnea that's neurological. Not even because you're fat. You can just have this apnea. And I might have, ironically, I might have an apnea that's not even because I'm fat.
Central apnea?
Is that what it's called?
Central sleep apnea? I think so. Actually, there's a comedian, Jim Norton, who he's lost a ton of weight. He wasn't even really, he was overweight, but he wasn't that big.
Oh, yeah, I know who Jim Norton is.
And he's now thin, and he still has apnea, and it's called central apnea, and I think it's his brain that does that.
Yeah, I read a lot of people can develop it after like a serious traumatic brain injury. So the allegation is that maybe I hit my head in the car accident and that could have led to it. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm convinced that all of my problems are because I'm fat, even the emotional ones that aren't related to any physical issues. And once I lose all my weight, if they're still here, I will regroup.
Yeah, so the only way to know if they're not because you're fat is by the lose of weight. And that's what we're going to do. 365 days. We're going to be eating right and exercising and keeping everybody posted.
When you say eating right, is that relative?
It is because, this is – so I was on the Atkins diet for like 100th time on a low-carb diet, and I'm buying Atkins meals. And the lady at the register, she's like, oh, are these healthy? I'm like, it depends. Like, if you're talking low-calorie or – if you want all natural food, no, they're not healthy for you if that's your diet. For me, they're low carb, so they're healthy. Just like if you're on low carb, wings are, I wouldn't say they're healthy, but they're okay. They're okay to have. Whereas if you're doing like a low fat diet, they're not okay to have. So it all depends on what diet you're going to follow, what's healthy or not.
So I have a friend of mine who was going to my church with me. My church it's really fun. It's like a really fun place to go. And he left for probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 months because he felt guilty about enjoying himself so much there. And that's how I feel when people tell me about low carb diets.
Yeah, you can enjoy yourself a lot on them, but there's I tried it a lot of times. It's the fastest way I can lose weight. However, it just I feel like garbage on it. So I don't think I'm going to go that route this time around.
What do you mean garbage? Like what's that feel like?
I just feel like tired and I don't know how to explain it. I just don't feel good on it. You feel like you're eating tons of fat, and I don't know. I don't feel good when I eat meat that much. I'm starting to like lower my meat threshold down.
Yeah,
I can eat a steak, that's fine, but hamburger and chicken and stuff like that is starting to just make me feel ill.
Yeah, I get too much of the like either greasy stuff or just too much. Well, the reality should be that you should only have like a minor portion of meat compared to your fruits and veggies on the plate.
I mean, that's what a lot of people say, but I would say if you do the low carb diet and it works for you, then do it. So a lot of studies have come out and said the best diet is the one that you can stick to. And a lot of studies have come out and basically saying they've tried they have people taking all these different diets, and for the most part, as long as you stick to them, it's pretty much the same kind of weight loss.
You know what I hate? You know what I hate more than anything is going on the internet and typing anything in Google, and you'll find articles that say, "Oh, it's not what you eat that matters; it's how much you exercise." Or
yeah,
like I can find arguments that fit both sides and then just stay fat.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been doing. I've been overthinking it this whole time. I'm probably the fattest guy who knows the most about nutrition in the world.
I know, right?
I was thinking about that because I've studied.
I've read every book.
Yeah, I've studied extensively for easily a decade now. 9 years. 9 years. I studied pretty intensely with most of my free time just researching, how can I fix me? Looking up all this stuff, having a new answer every week. And lo and behold, I'm still fat. But one thing I'm confident in, if I found somebody who obeyed me 100%, I could make them look amazing.
Yeah, actually, me too. I'm good at writing the rules, but not following them.
Yes.
We should be politicians.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Shane for
so I think this time's definitely got to be different, because if we do this podcast and a year from now we're doing the follow up and we have lost no weight or just a little bit, it's gonna be kind of embarrassing. It's gonna be more embarrassing if we stop this like in the middle of it and say, "Oh, we're not gonna do this anymore. We're just gonna continue to be fat."
The downside to that is it would also be funny.
Yeah, it might be funny. But it'd be a waste of time. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do one a week for 52. So a waste of 52 hours. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Michael?
Can I tell you the fattest thing I did the other night?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it and I'm laughing right now, so I have to share it. Isaac wasn't my youngest son. Isaac wasn't sleeping. It was 3 a.m, and I was like, "Man, here's all this heartburn, and I have no Nexium in my cabinet, and it hurts." So I opened the fridge up and I drank some milk. That didn't help. And then I look in the fridge and I'm like, oh, there's a whole bowl full of these little tater tots.
Okay.
I ate this entire bowl of tater tots.
Oh my gosh.
More than one serving at 3 a.m.
There's no going back. You've had heartburn, you ate something that gives you heartburn.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Since I suspect there's gonna be fat people listening to this, and they're gonna have heartburn. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
What do you do if you don't have any heartburn medicine around, but you have heartburn really bad?
I tried chugging milk, and it helps for like a second.
Milk makes it worse.
Yeah, it makes it worse. You know what I do?
What?
This is embarrassing. I don't want to say it now. I can just hear it sounds stupid.
Okay.
I've done this ever since I was like 5 years old because I've.
Hey, this is a safe space. So,
okay, thanks.
You can talk.
So I've had acid reflux GERD or whatever. I just found out. I've had it like my whole life, and I told Dad when I was little, and he told me that I was just sensitive, and I think he thought I was talking about my emotions or something. But so I thought this was like, oh, my chest just hurts every day for a little bit. I thought there was like a tiger inside there. Anyway, so what I did ever since I was a little kid, you probably see me do this, Shane, and wonder what the heck I was doing. I swallow a big bunch of air.
Yeah, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
I'd swallow a big bunch of air, and it would like push the acid back down and make it stop hurting. And that was the only thing that ever worked for me.
All right, ready for this one? This is gonna blow your guys' mind. You're gonna. Hopefully, you don't have to try it because we're supposed to lose weight. But
Yeah, I'll try it.
Keep being fat just so you can try this to see if it works. Mustard.
What?
Squirt as much mustard as you can in your mouth and swallow it. It'll get rid of it. It works just as good as heartburn medicine.
Mustard, huh?
Is mustard basic? Is that why?
Mustard's a base, yeah.
So you know what I did try, and
it might be the vinegar in it or something as a base. What's that?
It was the nastiest thing I ever tried. I tried apple cider vinegar for a while.
Yeah, yep, that should work too.
Oh, it worked, but I couldn't take the spoonful of it. I would throw up.
Isn't that embarrassing though? We're like finding things for heartburn because we were fat, we're eating crap. Yeah. I mean, what the heck's wrong with us?
Here's the thing, though. I had heartburn before I was fat too, as a child.
Yeah. I mean, some people have that, but for me, for sure, it's if I eat way too much carbs or sugar or something, that's when I get it. Then I'll be all trying to figure out how to not get it.
It's like a puzzle.
So actually, I got another story because I was thinking about carbs, right? I brought in this honking salad to work, and I was eating the salad because the day before I just downed a pizza. Right? So I was like, I'm going to even this out because I feel terrible. Well, lo and behold, the boss wheels in this 3-tiered cart of pizza, and I threw the salad aside and went and ate some free pizza. And
I don't blame you.
I threw it right aside. Like it's all. I should have just tossed my bowl in the trash. And I started eating the pizza, and immediately after eating the first piece, there was heartburn, and I was like, "What? I should have just stuck with the salad." But no, there's free pizza. So.
And then how many more pizzas did you eat?
Oh, like 4.
Oh my gosh!
And my fattest. What was my fattest thing this week? My fattest thing this week would be
swallowing too much air.
I don't know, air. I mean, if we're talking health wise, air is probably the healthiest thing I consume.
Yeah, we should do the air diet and write a book about it.
Yeah, there you go.
3 people have died from the air diet with burst stomachs.
So you got a fast thing. I think after that we should get our weigh-ins in and talk about what we're going to do, what the plan is, because we're running pretty high on time here.
Yeah, we are. We have 12 minutes left. Let's see if our goal's an hour. Either way, that's how much I got. But I got that.
That's right. We were futzing with stuff for a half hour. These guys. So I'm here with a laptop and a microphone. I just plug my microphone in my laptop. It's pretty simple. Click, and then I push the buttons, and I'm online. These guys are all aiming satellites at each other, trying to get all this equipment to work because they're professionals.
Hey, hold on.
They're professional audio people.
I was in appropriately of a timely manner, and I was actually connected longer than you were, Shane, because you lost your hearing.
No, I was connected before you. You came in way after us.
I was counting from when I started. I was connected longer than you were.
Okay, at any rate, what were we going to talk about? I just forgot.
The fattest thing I did this week.
Yeah, fattest thing you did.
It's funny, in the realm of impressively fat things, you'd be surprised at how not fat I behave often.
This is interesting that you bring that up. I was listening to Joe Rogan, as I do all the time, and he had Dr. Peter Attia, who's a
Is that the doctor of longevity?
Guy. Yeah, he does longevity now, but he started out as like a low carb kind of guy. And so I've been following him for a while, but he was talking about how much he eats in a day. He eats about 4,000 calories. And he kind of brought up the point, and I was like, I can't even, if I get up past like 2,200, I'll gain weight. And he brought it up that, a lot of times fat people don't eat as much as everybody thinks we do. Unless you're like really super obese, but it's just that we've eaten crappily so much for so long that our body just puts it in the wrong spots. So
there's a bunch of genetic damage or something.
We might be able to eat. We might eat less than a lot of people do. We also work out less, so that's another thing. But if we actually ate the same as him, 4,000 calories, we gain tons of weight, and he would stay where he's at.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
So that was interesting.
Very interesting.
Okay, so let's go on to our weigh-ins. Who wants to go first? Who thinks they're the fattest?
I do.
No, I think I'm the fattest.
Hold on. Okay. Are we talking?
I'm for sure the skinniest here, which this is the only group of people I'm the skinniest in. Here's the thing about being fat. Like, if you're in an elevator and somebody farts, they always think it's the fat person.
Always. I always thought the same thing growing up. Like, oh,
yeah, me
must be
too.
that fat guy back there.
Yeah, even when like I'm in an elevator with skinny people and somebody farts, I'm looking around. Oh, did I just fart? But I got nothing. Oof. But anyway,
You don't break the wall, Shane.
You should.
I got nothing.
You should have brought up the Mel Gibson joke right away.
Yeah, that was Mel Gibson. Oh yeah, another interesting thing. I did stand up comedy. Well, you would know that because I wasn't on the Question Mark podcast. But anyways,
maybe your comedy wasn't very
stand-up comedy, and I forgot where. Okay, so who's the fattest? Mark thinks he's the fattest.
I know I'm the fattest.
I'll say that I would guess Michael's the fattest. I'm certainly not the fattest, but I'm still fat.
See, I think I'm the fattest because I've been on this weekend shift longer than Mark, and I have 4 days of lounging around and being fat and fatting it up.
Right, but of the three of us, I've had to physically exert myself the most at my jobs because I'm a lowly peasant man who's emotionally gone through every type of job you could possibly have.
Mm-hmm. So you don't want to be a robot to society.
Yeah.
What?
You remember that?
No.
You went through a period of time where you didn't want to be a robot to society.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, that time.
Now I'm okay with being a robot because it's sustainable.
You got kids.
Yeah, you
got to be
kids.
a robot.
It's sustainable and it makes sense. And as you grow older, I think you typically grow more conservative. And, And so that's when people start depending on you and you have to start thinking beyond yourself, I think you tend to become a little more conservative in your thinking. Not that you become a Republican if you're a Democrat, or you know what I mean. Like you just become you don't want to take as much risk. Yeah.
So leaving a job's not such a good idea for no reason. Although I've done my fair share of it, but I've always gone up in pay and blah blah blah. And I just happen to have a job where you can jump around a little bit. But anyways, let's get beyond that. So. What were we saying?
If we did more physical jumping around, we'd be skinny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, so I've been like busting my back for the last, 8 or 9 years. And I also I'm fortunate enough, like if I'm going to be this big, I have a body shape that is a little forgiving. Because my upper body is really big and my shoulders are really wide.
Yeah, Mark is the tallest one of the group. How tall are you?
6'1".
6'1", which is weird. I don't want to get into it, but it's weird. I mean, if you guys weren't twins, I'd have some suspicions about what might have happened there.
Yeah.
Because nobody's 6'1" in our family.
Oh, my gosh, you're right.
That's the strangest thing. But anyways.
I didn't realize I looked down at Dad.
Yeah. Mom and Dad, nobody's 6'1". Todd's tall, but
Mark's going to start lording over Dad at work.
I'm going to start calling him Larry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's we'll start with Mark then. He thinks he's the fattest.
Yes.
Let's see who's the fattest.
I am 6'1", and today I am the highest recorded weight I've ever been, although I've been this weight before, so it's not new, but 355 pounds.
355.
Oh.
Wow.
Are those claps or are you hitting your bellies?
Both.
I'm just doing jumping jacks.
Your bellies.
That's how we clap on this podcast.
Okay, 355. I think you're the fattest. If you're 355, I would never guess that. By the way.
Oh well, it's because I have
you do
a forgiving shape.
Well. Yeah, you do hold it pretty well.
That's good.
Oh wow, 355. Okay. I asked for your weight, not your zip code.
I should note. Actually, my zip code is 309, so someday I hope to be not zip code, area code.
Area code, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get down to your area code.
No, your zip code is like 4 digits. That's why that would be funny. But
5 digits.
5 digits, yes. Okay.
All right, I guess I'll go next. I believe I'm the second fattest.
All right.
I am 5'9".
5'9".
And 335 pounds.
335.
Yes.
Wow.
Wait, I'm going to calculate our BMIs right now to see who's truly.
I'm horizontally challenged, and the BMI says I'm dead half the time.
Vertically challenged?
Horizontally challenged.
You put your BMI in, they send the police over.
Yeah.
They're send an ambulance directly to your house.
Sir, you okay?
When you use any BMI calculator online.
Well, it's not even the ambulance. They just send a mortician over.
The Undertaker versus The Undertaker.
All right, I have an obese BMI of 46.8, and Michael has what I would imagine to be an obese BMI. Michael, you're 5'9", correct?
Yeah, correct.
49.5.
So it's like 100% obese.
So wait, that means Michael's fatter than me, right?
Yeah.
All right, congratulations. You're the fat. If we go by that. All right. Here comes my measly numbers.
I know you can't see me, but I'm shaking my hands in the air like classic 90s dad.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. So I'm 5'7.5". I used to be 5'9". This is a true story. I used to be 5'9", but my back crumbled and I lost 2 inches, which is unfortunate because it makes my BMI a little bit higher. So today, now this was after eating. So cut me some slack, but
whenever I weigh myself, it's always after eating, Shane.
This is true. If I'm awake, I'm eating, right? 278.8.
Oh God,
wow,
that's fat.
Why don't you go do some Taibo and eat some salad there, Chief?
278.8. Shane, your current weight is like the weight that I looked great at.
That's 45% body fat, by the way. I'm using the Fitbit Aria scale, so it goes right to my phone every time I weigh in.
How's your Fitbit?
Wait, my average weight like last week was 2. Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's awesome.
But we'll link that in our show notes in case anybody wants to buy it.
How do you what is
support the show because it'll get us some commission from Amazon.
Your watch knows your weight?
No, it's a scale and it goes right to your Fitbit app.
Oh, is it like crazy expensive?
Yeah.
No, it's $100.
That's crazy expensive. Oh, I forgot you're rich.
It's not. That's not crazy. I mean, that's not bad. It's for what it is and how long it lasts. I mean, I've had it for years.
Why should I get it? What's it do?
I mean, just keep track of your weight. You don't have to get it.
I mean, I kind of want to get it now.
The other,
I ordered 3 of them.
Yeah.
Great, thanks, guys.
Becky's
gonna be upset. I just ordered
it gets your body fat percentage.
Oh, okay.
So, the one thing about we're going to be tracking and see who lost the most weight and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you can go through and not lose weight, but you can gain muscle. So it's going to be good for us to take actual measurements as well. So I don't know if you guys have like tapes that you can measure yourself with.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so just got a pug measuring tape for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
congratulations.
So, thanks.
Pug measuring tape?
Yeah. See,
it has pugs on it?
Jessica's stepmom shops in the Beyond section of Bed Bath & Beyond and finds the weirdest things.
Buys the controller.
Yeah. So we have a pug measuring tape that I can measure my.
It goes around you. It's not like a measuring tape you measure like a wall with.
It can go around. Yeah, it's pretty lengthy.
Wait, the hesitation you use there makes me think it's a measuring tape.
Yeah.
You get out of here. That's none of your business.
Actually, so there's like cloth or plastic ones that you can wrap around yourself.
Yeah, it's like cloth.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I also have one. If you need to borrow it, Mike, I have one that like you loop it and it's like called a My Tape, and it's so one person can accurately measure.
Yep.
I also have a caliper that I found out I'm too fat for. Did you guys know that? You can't be obese and use a caliper.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Well, this thing gets your body fat, so you don't have to worry about calipers.
Yeah.
It's the Fitbit Aria scale. It'll be linked on our website.
I'll order one.
Okay. So that's where we're starting out at. What weight do you want to be in a year from now?
My problem historically has been I've been far too ambitious and then very depressed once I'm not on track.
Yes.
Okay, this is true. Me too. Let's not say a year from now. What's your goal weight for after all is said and done?
Let's do 3 months. Let's do 3 months if that's okay.
Well, let's start with the end goal.
Right, yeah. Where do we ultimately want to be?
But it doesn't matter how long it takes to get there. What's the end goal?
Oh man, I would give myself an A+ if I got down to like 240.
240, and right now you're at 350, so that's 110 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to lose about 110. Michael?
I want to get back to like 198 if that's possible with my frame.
198. So you want to lose about 130 pounds.
Well, your frame didn't change, Michael.
No, but I'm not sure if I can obtain 198 again.
Oh, I see. You're just being cautious because you've been hurt before.
Just so the listeners know, Michael is the only one who's ever, in the last 10 years, had a reasonable weight.
Yeah.
And he actually did this through exercise. What was your diet like? What was your exercising like?
Diet wasn't too bad, but it wasn't great. Like, I just ate.
What do you mean wasn't too bad? You were eating more than I was.
Well, no, but I was still eating like crap, but I was running every single day. I would get out and run about 2 miles, like 1 mile one way, and I'd run back, and I would go to the gym for about an hour. And I was doing pretty well, and then I got fatter and anxiety kicked in, and I ruined myself.
We all happen to have kids in this period of time as well. So.
Yeah, this is true. Which I'm putting out my 78 part is a lot about it, baby weight. So because my wife's pregnant now, so we're eating fun things. But I gotta lose the weight. So you want to be about 198, Michael. Mark wants to be, what'd you say, 220?
240. 220 would be great. I've just never weighed 220. I don't know what that.
Okay, 240. I also want to be 200. So about 195-ish. So that puts me at what? I don't know. I can't do math.
That puts you at 80 pounds roughly.
80 pounds. So I gotta lose about 80 pounds.
Oh, well, Shane's got it easy. He'll get that done in no time.
It could work where you guys lose the same amount of weight. As you could lose more than me because you have more to lose at the beginnings. So we could end up where we're at trying to get to our goal about the same time.
That's true. Yep, and your mass constitutes your total daily energy expenditure. So me weighing this much means I can burn more calories. Ironically, once I get down to your weight, then I'll have to do even more.
You have to lower the thing. Okay. All right. So how are we going to get there? What is your plan? Something that we can hold you accountable for each week.
Who wants to go first?
You're going to do.
So I've actually started something in the past week. And
all right.
Started doing it every day.
What's your plan?
We were talking about work, and we said we don't do as much. We don't see a lot of people doing body weight exercises, so I started doing push-ups and squats every single day. Not a lot because I can't handle it because I'm too fat, but I did about 20 push-ups today and 20 squats.
Yeah, that's good. Herschel Walker, football player, his only exercise for the past many years is 1,000 push-ups and 1,000 sit-ups. And I don't know if he does squats too, but that's all he does. He doesn't do lift weights. So that's a valid thing.
I know a couple career military guys that's what they do.
What about eating?
Eating, portion control really is my big deal right now. And then I want to clean up. I want to eat more salads actually, so more greens.
More greens. What about calories? You gonna watch calories at all, or?
I don't do a lot of calorie counting. I'm gonna try. I want to see what happens without calorie counting because I don't want to. Because I know what I'll do is I'll overthink it and then I'll just ruin myself. I don't know.
So you're just gonna try to eyeball things.
I'm gonna eyeball it.
All right, but are you gonna at least track it instead of like? I don't know if that counts as counting or not.
I'll track what I eat. I'll write down.
Like, write it down.
I'll write it down.
Okay. I guess what you should do is at least for 2 days or something in the week, kind of get a total of how many calories you're eating. Just so you know, like if you lose weight that week, you know that, okay, if I eat this many calories, I'll lose weight. And then we can just talk about it in the next episode, like, oh, my average calories this week was this much, or
yeah, we can do that.
Or carbs if you're doing a low carb diet.
You know, if you want it to be really accurate, Mike, ask Jess to keep track of what you're eating.
Yeah, she'll see. She'll write it down, no problem. I'll make a Google spreadsheet for us to work on.
Yeah.
That way we can continually update it and see what each of us are doing. We could use Fitbit, but I don't know, or my Fitness Pal or whatever you guys want to use.
I don't want to use any phone apps if there's something that's not.
Yeah.
It just ruins my life.
My Fitness Pal has a website too, so you can do the all-in website or on the phone. You don't have to be inside the phone.
Oh, okay.
I actually did a lot of it through the website when I use it a lot. So yeah. All right, Mark. What's your plan? What are you gonna focus on?
All right, I'm starting
exercise wise.
Yeah, I'm starting small when it comes to eating. Whenever I've made major eating changes, I've actually had great results for a very short period of time because I've made non-sustainable changes. So my plan this time is to start small and try and be reasonable about my immediate aspirations. So for exercise, I actually do enjoy going to the gym. I actually really do enjoy working out. So I will be going to the gym a minimum of 3 times per week, which is pretty conservative. I used to think like 7 days or none, but I think that I've realized
3 is good.
Yeah, so I'm doing 3, and then when it comes to eating, my first step is switching to diet soda and then tapering off soda. I lived in Illinois long enough to call it soda now.
Yeah, I know. We call it Pop in Michigan. It's still, I just call it Diet Coke because I don't drink anything else, but Diet Coke. So you're just starting out with getting rid of drinking calories.
Yes. Well, I'll still consume calories if they're useful, if they're water, or if they're
water.
If they're water. If it's water based, like a carbonated drink doesn't do you any good anytime, no matter what. But if you have a water based drink, something that actually hydrates, like I'm not against having a Gatorade. I don't love them, but I might have one once every 2 weeks.
All right. So I think you should again try to track your calories at least 1 or 2 days a week, just so we know if you're losing or not. And I don't know, keeping track is good. So, all right. So what I'm doing is, as Michael knows, I just got a nice new gym set up in my basement.
I'm still sore.
We lifted this heavy workout machine equipment from my in-laws' house. They were getting rid of it. It's put in my basement, so I don't have to go to the gym anymore. I can just use that.
It was the largest single step I've ever pushed anything up in my life.
Yes, this thing was heavy.
I never felt so defeated.
I know. We were both breathing heavy after that.
Yeah, we're like, don't show Julia's dead that we're breathing heavily.
Yes. Michael's like, you use all your fat to lift it up. We were like, oh man, huffing and puffing. But anyways.
But we lifted all those plates nonetheless. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
So I'm just going to basically jump on the treadmill. I'm going to try to do it every day. So today I jumped on and got 250 calories in using what I'm going to dub the Black Ops 4 protocol. Would you like to hear this?
Yes, please.
Yes, all right. Please.
So I put the treadmill up. It was like at a level 6 as far as height, and then I was running at about 3.5 miles an hour. So it was 4 miles an hour. I was running kind of fast when you jumped on it. So what I would do is I'd play Black Ops 4, right? I'd play, and then when I died, I'd jump on the treadmill and start running, and until I respawn, and then I'd jump off and then play and die. And so this doesn't work for if you're really good at Black Ops 4, but when you're not like me, I die a lot, so I got a lot running in. 25 minutes playing Black Ops 4, I burned over 300 calories.
Nice.
So it was really fun to do. All right, so calorie-wise, I'm planning to stick around 2,000 calories a day. That's the normal thing. And I'll use my FitnessPal to track that. And I'll update everybody what my average weekly calories were each week. And I think that should result in a couple pounds of weight loss a week.
So you're doing 2,000 calories with a 500 calorie deficit, like an action deficit?
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to get I wanted to calculate your TDEE quick.
Yeah, what is curious. My TDEE?
If you want to maintain, it's 2209 per day. Michael, you are 29. Is Michael on here? I think we've lost him.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. So you're 29. You weigh 335, and you are 5'5".
5'9".
5'9". Okay. Your maintenance calories, Mike, is 2492. All right, mine is 2740. That's my maintenance.
Wow. Hey, are you using TDEcalculator.net?
Yeah, sure am.
Dude, look at the bottom. I never seen this site yet. It's got macronutrients.
Well, put your macro. Yeah, you can do your macro counts there. It gives them to you.
So it says what your maintenance is, cutting. So it says I should do 1,700 calories, and it gives you if you want to do low carb, high carb, or moderate carbs. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, what a neat resource. Well, we'll link that in the show notes, right? This is a good website.
Yeah, we'll link that in the show notes.
tdeecalculator.net.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
I'm going to try every day. I shouldn't say every day. Most days I'm going to try to burn 500 calories. And I'm measuring that. I can measure that through my Fitbit. I can also measure that through this heart rate monitor that I have. It's a Bluetooth heart rate monitor. And there's an app on my phone, and the monitor's on, and it's watching what I'm doing. And it's counting all my calories. So it gives me a pretty good accurate calorie reading of what I'm doing.
It's a watch?
No, it's actually a chest Bluetooth. I will link it on our page so people can buy it, and I use it for DDP yoga too. So it connects to DDP yoga, and you can see what your heart rate is in DDP yoga. And when you're done doing the yoga session, it'll tell you how much calories you burned.
That's awesome. So I should note too, by the way, and if you guys want to do this too, you can. I think what I'll do is I'll put up some other metrics of mine, because I actually monitor. I've been pretty health paranoid the last little while, just because I have kids now. So I'm trying to guarantee another 20 years if I can, so that they can become adults. But I do also track my blood pressure, which is typically mildly elevated, and I monitor my blood sugar because everyone else in our family is a diabetic now. So I might post those metrics as well, along with my weight and measurements, physical measurements, just to see how that changes, and maybe everyone else can see too if they're interested.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think we should all post our did you say measurements too, like our waist measurements and whatnot?
Yeah, I was planning on doing waist, arms, legs.
Yeah, because again, we might go through a whole week and you don't lose any weight, but you lose 2 inches, and that's pretty significant. So we need to track all that. I'll be building an app so you guys can log in and see that stuff right live on the website, thebrothersfat.com. So I think that's good for now. We're kind of running over, so let's end it here. We'll pick it up again next week. We'll hopefully have lost around a pound at least, maybe 2, by next week. And
I'm starting after I finish this Mountain Dew Kickstart.
Yeah.
It's still 2018, you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. All right, so that's it. So we'll see everybody next week.
All right. See ya.
Later, folks.
Yep.